Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Mii Weekly, this time for January 15th, 2021. I'm Hero TJ, coming at you from Taipei, Taiwan. Let's jump into the headlines. If you recall back to last week, I mentioned how Breath of the Wild NPCs were discovered to be advanced Miis known as Yumis. This info came courtesy of @HeyI'mHeroic on Twitter, and I had the chance to chat with her about her findings. So it turns out the Mii conversion process actually goes both ways. Not only can you import a Mii into Breath of the Wild through modding, you can also reverse engineer a Breath of the Wild NPC into a Mii. I don't know about you, but as a Mii fanatic, I find this totally fascinating. Take for example our friend Jogo here from the Spark of Romance side quest in Rito Village. HeyI'mHeroic, aka Alice, was convinced of the Mii connection when she noticed how closely Jogo's mouth shape matches the M-type Miis use. She got the notion to backport his feature values into a Mii, and this was the result. With a little help in the hair department. Turns out many Zelda NPCs actually have secret hair types. Ooh, doodle-doodle-doo. If a Mii is created with a hairstyle that is not represented in Breath of the Wild, the program automatically converts it to the closest approximation. But when you reverse engineer the Mii, it reveals the original hairstyle, which in the case of our friend Jogo here, looks a little something like this. A lot of trial and error went into decoding the Mii connection. Luckily, HeyI'mHeroic had some support from friends that helped streamline the workflow and speed up the time-consuming process of testing features one at a time. My thanks to Alice for taking the time to share her discoveries with me, and I'll be sure to keep all of you up to date on any of her future findings. If you're as much of a Mii maniac as me, I encourage you to follow Alice on Twitter @HeyI'mHeroic, as well as her Mii library project and Mii-related trivia blog. Links in the description. Nintendo gifted us with a closer look at Bowser's Fury, part of the Super Mario 3D World port coming to the Nintendo Switch on February 12th. And man, if I wasn't excited about this game, I sure am now. Alright, I'm gonna confess, I was not overly thrilled about the idea of Cat Mario when he was first introduced in the Wii U version of the game. I don't know, something about this middle-aged plumber running around in a catsuit just wasn't something I found myself overly enthusiastic about. When I did finally get around to playing the game on the Wii U, not only did I totally love it, I would go so far as to say, in my humble opinion, it is the best of the 3D Mario games. To be frank, when it comes to my Mario platforming adventures, I do prefer the 2D side-scrollers to the 3D adventures, and I find 3D World to be the perfect compromise of the two. And when it comes to multiplayer, this game is absolutely magical. I've always been all about Bowser, and Bowser Jr. for that matter. I was not expecting to have him as a special little extra bonus in this game, and the fact that a second player can jump in and control him is perfect for me and my kids, and this is the biggest and baddest Bowser has ever looked. Oh man, that heavy metal music? Sign me up. I am ready to give Super Mario 3D World another go. And while I was not crazy about the catsuit when it came to the Wii U version, something about Golden God Super Saiyan Lion Mario has me turning a full 180 on this. I am all about it. It looks amazing. I have come down with a serious case of cat scratch fever. I can't wait to join forces with my own litter to tackle this masterpiece again on February 12th. In Pokemon news, we finally got the release date for a highly anticipated Pokémon Snap sequel, New Pokémon Snap, for Switch, which will be releasing on April 30th of this year. I had a good old time with this game on the Nintendo 64. It is the first time that I saw Pokemon represented in 3D, so that was really a novelty for me at the time. It's an on-rail game where you just go around trying to catch the perfect picture of a Pokemon. There's all kinds of different ways to provoke them into posing for you. Sometimes it's just a matter of pointing your camera in the right place at the right time, and sometimes you have to entice them with an apple, or if I remember correctly, pester them with a pester ball, which I really did kind of hate. Hopefully there's a better option than that in this version. I didn't really love antagonizing the Pokemon. But based on everything I've seen so far, this game promises to be pretty cool. I'm definitely interested in picking it up, and even if I don't have fun with it, I'm sure my kids will. My good buddy and Nintendo Wire colleague Amiibo Jason did a great analysis of the trailer right here on the Nintendo Wire YouTube channel. So if you're a Poke fan, give that a watch. He's a funny guy. He did a pretty awesome job. And in sad, if altogether not very surprising news, Super Nintendo World's opening in Japan has been delayed. It was originally scheduled for, well, I guess it was originally scheduled to open with the Olympics back in 2020, but the COVID-19 pandemic necessitated a delay. It was pushed to February 4th of 2021, but with the Osaka Prefecture entering a new state of emergency as of January 13th, the decision was made by Universal to delay the Super Nintendo World opening indefinitely. So it will, of course, no doubt open sometime in the future. We just don't know exactly when that's going to be. Safety first, of course. My family and I are very excited to go visit Super Nintendo World. As we are currently located in Taipei, Taiwan, we're just a 2-hour jaunt away. So as soon as they do open and we feel it's safe, you can bet we'll be there. Here's wishing them the best as they try to sort out this virus situation. You know what, let's just here's wishing the world the best as we try to sort out this virus situation. Good luck, everybody. Let's move on to now playing. As promised, I did manage to download that Monster Hunter demo and I gave it a go. Just like every Monster Hunter game before it, I'm enticed by the amazing visuals, awesome creature design, and gripping gameplay videos. And just like every Monster Hunter game, I played it for about 30 seconds, decided my character moved too slow, didn't like how complicated the controls were, and I've had just about enough of that. Moving on. Well, again, I found myself really busy and didn't really make a whole lot of time for games. Most of the reason I didn't play is just there is not currently a game out there that has really sucked me in. I've been juggling a few indies, but nothing really grabbed me until me and my sons were watching my daughter play this game she got for Christmas, this little puzzle adventure called My Brother Rabbit. I'd never heard of it. We got her a Switch for Christmas, and I was going through the eShop sales, just trying to put as many inexpensive games on there as I could so she'd have something to play, and I nabbed this little title for a song and dance. The moving painting art style is really cool, and that's kind of what compelled the purchase. But like I said, my boys and I were watching her play, and we got sucked into the puzzles. All four of us were just sitting there watching the screen, trying to identify where these hidden objects were. When the puzzles came up, it was fun for all of us to kind of shout out solutions, and before I knew it, a few hours went by. We all had a pretty good time. The puzzles were reasonably challenging. My 8-year-old daughter was able to manage most of them. There were a few of them that even stumped me for a while. Not that I'm some great puzzle wizard, but it reminded me of some of the fun I had with the first 3 Professor Layton games, combined with like those Where's Waldo books from when I was a kid. Now the story for me is a little heavy. I haven't been following it too closely, but from what I gather, it's about an older brother using imagination to try to help his little sister deal with a difficult medical situation. So kind of dour for my tastes, but as far as the gameplay is concerned, you pretty much just play as a cursor. You play hide and seek with a bunch of objects, solve some pretty polished puzzles, and it's generally a pretty compelling way to pass the time. I'm interested to see where it goes. Welcome to Joys and Cons with me, Hero TJ, and Dark TJ. This edition will feature Joy-Cons. Who doesn't love that satisfying click every time a set of Joy-Con controllers connect to the Nintendo Switch console? You ever catch one of your characters wandering aimlessly to the corner of the screen, or maybe even plummeting to their death off a cliff? Yeah, that's the all too common condition of Joy-Con drift. I can't believe how much tech they managed to cram into these little things. You have an accelerometer and gyro sensors for motion control, an NFC reader for Amiibo, and HD Rumble. And remember Labo? You can even use Joy-Con to play a cardboard piano. Did I mention this little extra unintended feature known as Joy-Con drift? Talk about variety! Joy-Con come in all the colors of the Nintendo rainbow. Mix and match to suit your style. I'll sum it up in 3 words. Joy-Con drift. Nuff said. This has been another edition of Joys and Cons with me, Hero TJ, and Dark TJ. This episode's Spirit of the Week was suggested by Geno Bird. We're looking at Spirit number 1081, the Dark Emperor, from the Street Pass Mii Plaza series. The Dark Emperor is the final boss of the secret quest in Find Me 2 for the Nintendo 3DS. You know that cool little Street Pass game where you have to use the color-coded warriors based on all the Street Pass peeps you come across? The Dark Emperor also appears as the stage boss in Super Smash Bros. 4 3DS on the Find Me stage, and returns to the same stage for Smash Ultimate. As a primary spirit, the Dark Emperor holds the highest rank of Legend. You can summon him by combining the cores of Prophet, Vati, and Necrozma, or you can fight for him in World of Light. Thanks to Geno Bird for the suggestion. If there's a particular spirit you'd like to see featured as the Spirit of the Week, leave your suggestion in the comments section below, and if yours is selected, you'll be recognized in the episode with an on-screen credit just like Geno Bird. And before we go, it is time to sound off. My question for you, the Switch-loving Nintendo community, have you ever experienced Joy-Con drift? We have in the house 5 Switch players and 10 Joy-Con. One of the right Joy-Con is confirmed to be experiencing some Joy-Con drift, unfortunately. And much more regrettably, every single left Joy-Con that we have has some degree of Joy-Con drift, except for the aforementioned new Switch that we bought for my daughter for Christmas. Let's hope it holds out. Joy-Con drift has been really obnoxious for our experience. There are some games like Hyrule Warriors where it's really not that impactful. You just adjust the direction of your character. You can kind of compensate while you're doing it. But there are other games where it becomes really problematic, like when you're trying to do anything with precision. Sure, it's annoying when you're standing at the top of a tower in Breath of the Wild and Link decides to slowly walk off to his doom. But for me personally, that's not near as annoying as when I'm trying to dig a hole in Animal Crossing crossing and my character keeps re-angling himself to make me miss, if I have to try to shovel a hole more than once or twice, I'm just ready to shut the game off altogether. I know Nintendo is hesitant to really address Joy-Con drift. There have been some measures taken in the US for a while, at least. You could send them in to get them repaired. That doesn't do me much good here in Taiwan. There are also some videos online with advice on how you can use contact cleaner to maybe solve the problem for yourself. But the fact that one might even consider doing that is emblematic of a much bigger epidemic. This is nothing new for Switch fans, but it certainly is something new for Nintendo fans. Since my first NES, Nintendo has been the pillar of quality. There is no controller, like no third-party controller was acceptable in comparison to the official Nintendo original. And I gotta say, the Nintendo Switch is the first time when I prefer using third-party controllers because of just how unreliable the Joy-Con have been. So let me know if this has impacted your playing in any way. And that wraps up this edition of Mii Weekly. I really appreciate you joining me. Hope to see you again next time. Thanks for playing.